to Mexico. Faith's brother's getting hitched.
Everybody knows that now, sir. Hello, everybody
And it's so funny because
who's
as you
watching.
say it, I'm
Everybody
looking on my
online
other
who's
screen
watching.
and the YouTube notification was like, Bloom, Marriage Ain't for Suckers, now live.
You
I'm
got a
like,
notification?
mm-hmm.
That's dope. You
When you
subscribe to your own joint?
I do.
That's dope.
I
So
do.
so you get informed if you live or if somebody's hacking your joint and they live in your place. I'm subscribed to our stuff too, though.
Two-step verification. Well,
Two steps.
Yeah, two-step.
Not a two-step, you know.
No, not a two-step like a
That's a
dance.
dance.
Motion, take one
One
action
step.
and then a next action. So two action.
Two action step.
Two action step.
Okay. All right. Well,
Call to action, 2 times.
Two-time call. But if you get two call to action, you're supposed to action twice.
No, you get two. If you get one call to action, then you get one call and you move 1 time. But if you get 2 call, no, you have to move 2 times.
Let me say, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Oh. Hello?
Hello?
Okay. There's people on here.
Oh, okay.
Yo,
Right.
I don't know why we be talking like nobody's there though. That is just so okay.
You know what that mean? That just mean that we all family. You know what I'm saying?
We all family. Okay.
Well, people, when you new, then you act brand new. But you know what I'm saying? If it's somebody else, then you know what I'm saying?
All right, so I can take off my uniform.
Yeah.
Take off my shirt.
Frenchie, Ayana, you know what I'm saying? Big them up. The sisters are here.
Ayana, hello.
Shalom.
Frenchie always in here, man. Yo, she be taking a quick break from like daily broadcasting that run with us, man.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. And that broadcast is fire.
I see that. I told you.
No, what she's using for, I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, man. Be Live, man.
Yo, to Be Live. Yeah.
Yeah, Be Live is dope. The only reason I don't use it because it's just missing a feature that I like. Yeah, but Be Live is dope.
It's dope, man.
Yeah, I've been rocking with them for a very long time. You know who told me about them? Like anything worth knowing about, 9 times out of 10, RK3 know it. Yeah. So he put me on to that like a minute ago. Yeah, he put me on to this, matter of fact. Like, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
I like it a lot.
A lot. I think the train has officially gone off the rails.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try to get it back on the rails.
Come on.
We are going to take ownership for our time here.
Yeah, please.
So, hello. For those of you joining us for the very first time, this is L. David Harris. They call me Dave, and that over there is not a that, it's a him. But the man over there, his name is Quest. It's J. Quest Green. J. Quest Green. That's a real name. That's not a moniker. Yes. And so, yeah. You have tuned into the back, what do you call it again?
The green room. We're in the green room.
We're in the green room. Okay, so you're seeing us get our face powdered up and ready for the show. And in a little while, we'll sound like we know what we're talking about. And I'm not saying that we'll be like completely fool free, but we'll try. Mm-hmm. And that'll mean we're live for the production audience. Mm-hmm. But until then, we're just here. And thanks for joining us. I'm ready to go when you're ready to go, Quest.
Yep, I got one. Let me just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want to put that there.
Yeah.
And then, yep. I got one more. Hold on, D. And then we're going to rock. I'm sorry, 2 more.
2 more. How about 3? Can I hear 3? Can I get a 3?
3? Oh, that's true.
2.
To make it complete. All right, we'll do 3.
Oh, boy.
We'll do 3. All right, so here's 1 right here.
Un.
You know what I'm saying? Stay with me.
Uh-huh.
Aura. Yep. That's 1 right there.
Did you say Aura?
Aura.
But that's not a letter, right? You weren't gonna.
That's-
You're not saying that's a letter when you said aura.
I did. It's kind of like when we say Z.
No, it's not like when you say Z. Z is a letter. Aura is a New York thing. Aura is not even in the dictionary. Like how you spell aura?
LMNOPQRSTUVWXYNZ.
No, that's no. But yo,
Z is a letter where you are.
well, what am I talking about? It doesn't matter where. Is aura a letter anywhere
Yeah, it is.
in New York
Uh,
in the 80s?
I think maybe in the South more so than anything.
Oh, they say aura in the South too?
Aura.
I didn't know that.
And in the Midwest too.
That doesn't make it a letter. Just because you say it over and over, don't make it true. Ask never mind. Forget it. All right. Off the rails. Yes. Don't ask the never mind. Skip it.
All right. Let's get it.
All right. Well, okay. You ready? If you're ready, we're going to get quiet. All right. Quiet on the set. Let's go. And this time the sound's going to be right. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What are we talking about today?
Yes, indeed. What up? And welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. I am your host with the most, Quest, alongside my man, my mellow, as Nico would say, my mellow, my man, L. David Harris.
Get on the mic and
MC.
What up, Nico? What up, Quest?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I'm telling you, sooner or later, he going to take my job.
Yeah, man. Big shout to the Nico man.
Yep. Where they at, man? Ring the bell. Let's get them in.
Yeah, man. Class is in session.
Yep. No doubt. What up, everybody? Welcome to another edition, as I said before, to another Marriage Ain't for Suckers program, as D would like to say. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man.
Yeah, it's lovely to have everybody in. I already see them piling in the group already, D.
Yeah, man. They in there like swimwear.
In there like swimwear. Shouts out to everybody who's coming in. Yeah, man. So what's new? What's popping over there?
Yeah, man. Life is life. Life is life, man.
Yeah.
We up in here, man. No doubt. Like I will not trade in what I'm dealing with right now for anywhere, anything in the world.
I know.
Lord bless us and keep us. You know, life is not always easy, but we good, man. I live in the Caribbean, bro. What I'm gonna do?
In all reality,
as rough as it is, as tough as certain things are, it's tough everywhere on some level. So if I'm gonna have a difficult time doing certain things, I'd rather do it close to the beach. So
no doubt. No doubt. And I saw you last Sunday shouting me out on that little beach excursion you and the missus went out on, and I was like, ooh.
Shots fired.
They are laying it on really thick right now.
I wouldn't do it to you so bad if you weren't coming soon.
Oh,
because that would be heartless.
I'm glad we got like 2 months before it pops off. Yeah. So it's 60 days. I could do that.
You can manage.
No problem. No problem. So yeah, man. Everything's lovely on this side as always. I'm just man, let me tell you something, D. I'm as me and Faith are transitioning through these different seasons of marriage. Well, let me say this first. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you know, you have your up days, your down days, and your in between days, right?
Yes.
And on my down days or my not so good days and my in between days, when things are not working out the way that I want them to work out, and you know, the thing about being with somebody for so long that you're in tune with, you can tell what something is wrong even when they don't say something. Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would share things with her, of course, because she is my number one confidant.
Word.
But I wouldn't go too deep into it. And she would just rub my back or she would kiss my jaw and keep it rolling. And sometimes you think like, yo, is she there with me? You know? And then I received this text from her today, man, that caused me to fall in love with her all over again.
Word.
And basically what the text said is that the Holy Spirit gave me a special prayer request for you today. Know that your wife is praying with expectancy on your behalf and has faith.
Big word.
Big word that God will deliver. And then I sent her back a text, D, and I said to her, you have no idea how much I love you right now. And she said, and I love you endlessly. And then she said, truly filled with the Spirit today, or maybe it's the lack of sleep. But in any case, grateful for God's word today. There it is right there, D.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is right there.
That's
and
good,
so
man.
I'm just thankful for who she is in this season. Like she's a minister, B. If not outside this home, she is definitely a minister in this home. And I'm glad for her ministry, thankful for her ministry, and grateful not only for who she is as a wife, as a mother, but more importantly, for who she is as a wife. So yeah, man.
True indeed, man. You can't lose. You marry somebody named Faith, bro.
Yeah, can't lose.
Praise
and then
Lord.
Plus, this past week was kind of crazy because Nico and Mason, they like the two of them sometimes like, you know, you pray for boys, you know, Zoe kind of balances things out. And man, I'm even thankful for her because, you know, it's summertime. 1 week the boys are home with me, 1 week they're away. Zoe's been kind of like balancing them out, if you will.
During the day.
Yeah, right. And holding them down for me. So I'm thankful for her and her ministry, man. And it's man, yeah, all I can say is God is good, man. Yeah, they've definitely been holding your boy down. And just to hear the words of my wife, the encouragement that you need sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it don't, like the kind of encouragement that your wife gives you, sometimes it don't, when anybody else do it, it don't suffice.
Well, it's not the same. It's not the same, man. Consider the source.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hasta la luna. See you there.
So, there she is. She's saying, love you to the moon. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. To the moon. So yeah, praise God for her, man. And all that she's doing in terms of her encouragement for me. And I'm glad that she has a relationship with the master where he's imparting to her things to do as it relates to me. So yeah, man.
It's a love fest up in here.
Yeah, no doubt. Some people might think I'm bragging, but whatever, so be it. I got to celebrate her because if I don't celebrate her, I don't want nobody else celebrating her but me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or if they do, I wanted to get it here first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think now is the time to move to the next subject before it gets out of HAND.
Off the tracks. Yes, indeed. So let me just go ahead, D, and shout out Breathe University. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. Yep. So I just want to brag on Breathe University real quick because they are doing some magnificent things in terms of meetups, you know, keeping in contact with one another via social media. Is that you on the iPhone there, brother?
iPhone? No.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said it like it was a bad thing. Are you listening to us via live broadcast? Is that what you're doing?
I know we live.
I mean, that's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to Breathe University, doing a wonderful job. There's so many different wonderful things in terms of service for what you need. You want to go to the next level as an entrepreneur? It's there. You want to go to the next level in personal development? That's there. And my personal best and favorite, you want to go to the next level in your marriage? It's there. Entrepreneurs, it's there. Anything that you need in order to go to the next level, Breathe University has it for you. For more information, take control. San Diego, I believe it is, or San Francisco is coming up. If you want to be in the building, go to etinspires.com/events. But if you want to find out more about Breathe University and how you can become a part, go to www.breatheuniversity.com.
Word up.
Yep. So what you got for us today, D? What's the book for today? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no such thing as overdoing it. So this podcast is brought to you today by Audible. Get your free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/marriage. With more than 180,000 titles from which to choose for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And today, guess what, Quest?
Yes.
We are recommending a book by Stephen Arterburn and David Stoop. Yeah, this one is How to Stop Letting the Past and Other People Control You.
Oh,
and
wow.
Look, the cover of the joint has a dude on some puppet strings, bro. How to stop letting the past and other people control you. Take your life back. Go get it. It's free. It's not the only one, but that's the one I'm recommending.
Yep. Shouts out to taking your life back. You know what I'm saying?
We got to take ownership, Quest, on every level.
Let me give one out there, you know what I'm saying, for taking your life back.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, Doc. So what's the topic for today, D?
Oh, did I say take ownership? Yeah. Relationship maturity at its best.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. So we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, not this past Tuesday, but the one before. You're talking about, when manning up, of course, that's our context because we men, right? We mans in them, right?
Absolutely.
And when manning up is painful, but you got to stand up, man. Like, take ownership. Man. Real talk.
So the reason that's so important, D, is because, all right, let me say what I always say, right? We could talk about the good stuff if we want to. That's fine.
It's on lock.
Yeah, we got the good stuff on lock, but we don't rarely talk about the good stuff unless we're praising our spouse. Okay, cool. And the good stuff is cool. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't require anything from you. What requires something from you in terms of making adjustments, going to the next level in terms of your growth, because that's what marriage is, right? We're always trying to grow in some way, shape, or form. And that's what marriage does to you.
Yes.
So let me just go ahead and reiterate this as well. If you are not willing to be cut, shaped, formed, if you're not willing to make adjustments, if you're not willing to grow, if you're not willing to go to the next level, if you want to remain the same old you, let me just cut you off at the pass and tell you, don't get married. Don't get married.
So because what I realized,
don't even bother, because if you do, you'll end up, just don't get married, right? What I've realized more now, D, than I've ever realized before, that there are a couple of things that, there's two main purposes for marriage as far as I'm concerned, but there's also some byproducts of it as well, right? Now, we know that the purpose of marriage is to become holy, set apart, number one. And then number two, the purpose is to become one with your spouse, to become as intimate as intimate can get, right? And intimacy is deep, bro.
Yes.
It's deep. So I don't know if you'll ever hit the bottom of intimacy, but I do know that it's deep. The byproduct of that, though, like we're not born perfect. The word declares that we're born in sin and shapen in iniquity. So that lets you know exactly, like for real, you move through these different stages of life. You learn things, and a lot of the times that you grow and you do experience growth, it didn't just come easily to you. You had to experience some difficulties, right?
Of course.
Yep. And so the byproduct of marriage should be to be better in some way, shape, or form. And as you get better and grow, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. But what I've noticed with some of us, D, is we go through the difficulty or through the challenge, we become hard, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Callous, insensitive.
Yeah, insensitive, callous, especially with the people who are close to you, namely your spouse, right? Yeah. You get defensive sometimes when they point stuff out to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you get mad when they speak truth to you, especially when it relates to something that you're doing or not doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that, like, for real, take ownership.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying take ownership for the entire marriage. Take ownership of the things that you can control. You can control your attitude.
No doubt.
And if you're responding to, and here's the thing, D, as we talk about this topic too, operate in truth. I believe if you operate in the truth, but and I feel it necessary to say this: there's your spouse's truth, there's your truth, and then there's the truth. And if you operate in the truth, is it true that every time your spouse talks to you, you shut down and you kind of like stonewall them? Yeah, is that true? Regardless of what caused it. Now you can start pointing the finger and say, well, she said X, Y, and Z to me, or she did this. Okay, that may be well and true, but you can't control what your spouse said to you or what they did to you. What you can control is your response to the adversity. And you can control your response. You can control your attitude. You can control what comes out of your mouth. Am I saying that it's easy? No, but you can control it.
Yeah. So what happens is a lot of times we sidestep, rationalize, minimize, attack, or straight deny. Like you see that a lot in the news. Like if the United States was a relationship, then her husband be rationalizing, sidestepping, minimizing, attacking, and denying what happened. I'm just gonna say that right at this moment. No, I ain't trying to be political. I'm just saying, like, it's the wildest thing, man.
It's
like
the truth. Operate the truth.
Because we're gonna talk about objectivity, right? So if it's you, your wife, and 60 of your closest friends at some kind of food get together, right? You're in the place together, and it's a small setting, right? You live in one of those 4,000 square feet kind of houses. It's not small for a house, but it's small for 60 people, right?
Yep.
So you got 60 people, you're doing whatever you do. I don't know, maybe it's a holiday, right? And then for whatever reason, something doesn't go quite right in you and your wife's interaction. Not Quest, but some other you, right? And now your 60 friends are privy to your dirty laundry. So the question is, when the dirty laundry was aired, the reasonable person, 60 reasonable people, do they see that you somehow lost your cool, she somehow lost her cool, or there's culpability on both sides? 60 people generally, I'm not saying this is always true, but in this case, we're talking about your friends. 60 of your friends are not going to be wrong, right? So objectively speaking, people with sense, they're not mad in their head, they're all right. What would those 60 reasonable type people see when those interactions go not so well? And so if I'm minimizing, if I'm sidestepping, if I'm rationalizing, if I'm attacking, and even denying what happened, you got 60 sets of eyes saying, nah, that's not what I saw. And that's something that you shouldn't need third parties to tell you. You understand? And that kind of stuff happens all the time. That's not completely arbitrary, what I just said. I mean, dude, sometimes everybody will look around and be like, yo, like somebody sucked the air out the room. What just happened?
Yep.
Right? And so we need to, and so, you know, some of this stuff will happen in front of people, and we need to be honest with ourselves, with our spouses, and be respectful toward everybody involved, especially our spouses, and say, man, I don't know what got into me, but I know I'm wrong. And my wife and I, if you're a woman, your husband and you, we're going to get that sorted out. And I apologize. Y'all pray for us. If you're praying people, we are. Y'all pray for us, because this is a mess.
Okay, D. Two things.
Yeah.
You touched a number of things right there. Number one is the ability to be able to say, you know what, I don't know what got into me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That takes maturity.
Yeah.
So let's just number 5 things. If anybody is in the chat, you could type these into the chat for me so that it'll be visible for everybody to see in the chat. I believe that when you're operating and you're taking ownership for things that happened, didn't happen, and it's been pointed out to you, I think that these 5 things need to be present. Number one, you have to have a certain level of maturity. Right? Yeah. And what did we say maturity was? It's not necessarily something that comes with age or experience. taking responsibility for the way that you think and how it translates into word and the way that you behave, right? The word declares that whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. So wherever your mind goes, your energy flows. So if you're thinking negatively, if you are thinking immaturely, then more than likely it's going to come out in your behavior. It's not too long before the actions follow. As a matter of fact, you ever sit down, D, and you watching a commercial, and then a Breyer's ice cream commercial come on the TV with the vanilla bean, and all of a sudden your mouth starts salivating, and about 15 minutes later, you're sitting back in front of that same TV with a bowl of ice cream. What happened?
That's some Freudian stuff, man. That's some,
you know what I'm saying? Like
ring
your
the
mind,
bell, dog eat salivating stuff.
I'm just, and not to go as deep as as it like Freud did, like Sigmund did, but I'm just saying your mind goes to a particular place, and and if you concentrate on it and entertain the thought long enough, it's not going to be too long before your actions follow right behind it, right?
So don't watch stuff where people's marriages are always destroyed in the show.
Oh, I'm just
people beefing with each other.
You said that, not me.
Stop watching people like having mateys and adulterers. And
oh wow, that's what we
wonder why my mind's wandering.
Okay.
Why my wife is not the best woman in my mind anymore.
Oh, okay.
Or vice versa.
Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
Or why you think like because your husband don't have a Bentley like the dude on the TV who's not even real.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like this TV stuff. Like we don't live in a TV. I don't live in a television class. I live in a house.
Okay. And so that's the reason why sometimes when you get into disagreements and arguments, it's because of lack of maturity. And then when you get into those disagreements and those arguments, instead of keeping your mind focused on your wife and working out, or your husband and getting worked out what you need to work out, you go and start watching that other thing that you watch, that other TV show, and you start looking at what life would be like with someone else.
Fantasy.
Lack of immaturity. And that's under there. You understand? So that's number one. Right.
Pause for 1 second. Get your number 2 ready. So there's a place where I have to go pick up packages sometimes, right? And in the place, their second business, which is primary on Saturday nights, is virtual reality games. Son, you go into the joint. It looked like it's about 400 square feet. You go in there and it easy on a Saturday night, easy 60 people standing up. And you got 2 people in front in the middle of the floor with nothing around them. But without fail, somebody screams like they being massacred by something. But they by themselves. You looking at them on the outside. They out there by themselves, but they got the big goggle on.
Yeah.
And they swinging at the air, bro. Yeah. And you don't know what they seeing, but they are wilding out because their reality has been altered by what's around them.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so now they're horrified about something that does not exist, Quest. So what happens when I carry that stuff into my marriage?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm feeding on virtual reality.
Absolutely.
And I'm wilding out at home as though what I have in my head is real, bro.
And it's not.
And it's not real.
But you know what this is what gives substance behind the whole mindset of, or behind the text, whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. Filling up your head with that foolishness. That, like, for real, you come up in the environment of bickering, what you think is going to happen when you get your own family? You're just going to be beefing all the doggone
nature,
time.
man. Yeah.
You understand? So Janice wrote number 1 in there. Janice, get ready for number 2.
Yeah, so the Frenchie.
Yep. Thanks, Frenchie. Number two, right? Number 2 is an absence of selfishness, right? That's number 2. A lot of the times you're not considering what's happening on the other side. You're only thinking about yourself and how you feel about it, not knowing that your spouse, who is supposed to be one with you, has valid feelings too, has valid emotions as well. And it's not only your feelings and emotions that matter, theirs matters as well. But as usual, when the challenging and difficult times come, and I'm not saying that it happens overnight. It's just, but it takes practice. Start doing it from now. Start considering not only your feelings and emotions, but the feelings and emotions of the other person, right? Part 3 to what you're talking about, D. I believe number 3, an absence of pride. Number 3. Yep. An absence of pride. What does the word declare? Pride goeth before a fall. I've been addressing some of this stuff lately in the videos that I'm doing on YouTube. By the way, if y'all want a good offset of what D and I are doing here, like for real, we have a Marriage Ain't for Suckers YouTube channel and a Quest Green YouTube channel. And as a matter of fact, David has a YouTube channel as well. Go by and subscribe and get the stuff that you need as it relates to this stuff, because not only are we giving you principles, we're giving you the practices and policies and how to make the adjustments, right? So number 3, an absence of pride.
Yeah.
Yep. When your wife says something to you and you know you did that, don't say I didn't do that. Don't be defensive. Matter of fact, D, we said that defensiveness is one of those things that'll take you straight to the divorce court.
Oh yeah, there's no question. And it's pricey. The cost to the family, the cost to the pocket, the cost to individual and members of the family, because you got the family entity, the institution, but then you got the individuals in the family. It ain't worth it, man. It's not worth the cost, man.
It's funny. People hold on to their pride more. And like for real, you do what we were just talking about, it could cost you $2,500, $5,000.
Easy.
And easy. And that's on the low end. Yeah. And that's on the low end. Rather than let your little feelings get hurt and you make the adjustments and come back stronger than, oh, come on.
Let me pause on the pride thing, because I think a lot of people are confused about pride. You know, the boasty kind of pride, the big up your chest kind of pride,
of course.
The King Kong kind of pride,
of course.
But there's a kind of pride that is poor me pride.
Yep.
That seems like it's meek and mild, but it's really poor me. Nobody's problems are worse than mine kind of pride.
Oh, the
everybody
victim
look
mentality?
at me and wallow. Yes, victim mentality kind of pride. So I'm the most important person and nobody's problems are worse than mine kind of pride. So let's not be like, oh, that ain't me, I'm good. Because there's that flip pride, that flip side pride.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. Carry on.
Mm-hmm. So all right, so let's look at number 4.
No matter
you and I both know in the work that we do, there's this business client relationship, right? Yep. And when you obtain a client, you're trying to give your client the best possible experience in terms of what you're providing for them, in terms of service that they need and deserve.
And deserve. Correct.
And deserve.
And they don't even know if they want yet necessarily.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying for number 4, make your marriage your client. Make your marriage your client. What am I saying? I said the first part of it. You want to give your marriage the best experience possible in terms of the service that it needs and deserves, right? Mm-hmm. But what I'm also saying is that when you're making your marriage, you know that your business is only as good as the last client's review of your business, right? I remember the owner of Chick-fil-A was in an interview and he said, our business is only as strong as the last chicken sandwich that we served, right? And so I'm saying that your marriage is more important than who you are individually or who you are as individuals. Yep. So number 4, make your marriage your client. And number 5, D, I'm going to go ahead and say, exercise humility.
Okay, so you're gonna speak in inclusive and exclusive terms. So on the one hand, you shun pride.
Yep.
And then on the other hand, you activate humility.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it's not just abstinence, because abstemious lifestyles don't always bring results. So I can abstain from pride, but I need to drink full of humility.
Well, when you take away something, right?
Yeah.
Do we not try to replace it with something else? I guess with the, you know more about it on the psych side as far as that's concerned, but I know from an experience or exercising perspective that if I take away something and I know my behaviors, that's just giving me room to do foolishness. So what I'm going to do is take that away, but replace it with something else. And the thing that I'm going to replace the absence of pride with is humility, right?
Yeah.
And what humility says is that I'm going to behave in such a way where I'm truthful, not only with you, but I'm truthful with myself, and I'm going to act accordingly, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, if my wife points out something to me, I'm not going to buck and act out of pride and be like, nah, I ain't do that. You just miserable and you doing that, and you running it down the line. No, I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, is that what you see?
Right.
And my wife is going to be honest with me.
Validate.
And because I trust her, I'm going to be like, man, it don't feel good to know that I'm doing that, because like for real, in doing what we're doing, we're not perfect. But you know how people do, how their perspectives, they hold you to a standard, but we're not perfect. But if that's what you see, then I guess I got some adjustments to make. Will you help me?
No question.
Will you help me help you help me make these adjustments? And then we'll come back again. That's humility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's another realm. I'm going to call it a full realm, not even a level. Because one of the synonyms for humility is meekness, right?
Oh, and stress it, not weakness, but meekness.
But hold fast.
Yeah.
The thing about meekness is it is power under control. One of the tentacles of the fruit of the spirit is self-control.
Absolutely.
So when I show up to the accident scene yesterday where somebody run into my wife's back in our vehicle, you know, and the guy finds out whose vehicle it was for whatever reason. When he put two and two together, he was like concerned, like, your husband's coming? Yeah. And I'm like, why is he so? So I get there and everybody's like, they trying to see like, who's this dude that he's so worried about? This dude is a security guard, bro, in two different places. And they're like, yo, the one shine-head man, a brown with a little accent. I am your husband. And the dude lost his mind, dog.
Yeah.
He was fretting, bro.
Yeah.
But when I get there and just show up regular, they're looking around like, yo, what is going on? Yo, cool yourself, no man. Like, so humility, meekness is power under control. The dude is already fretting. Your spouse may already be upset or concerned or fearful or sad or angry. And in that moment, they're vulnerable. Even if they're enraged, they're vulnerable because an enraged person is not in control of his or herself, right? So if your spouse is already vulnerable, you definitely don't want to go kicking the door down and saying, I told you so, or see the last time, or you always, or didn't I tell you before? You promised that you would never. Meekness is power under control, because at that moment, you can bury your spouse's emotional self, man. In that moment, if they're vulnerable, you can bear, and that goes both ways. When the man is tender, like this dude, Terry, I'm not gonna go into the thing, but we talked about Terry Crews.
Terry Crews, yep.
What if his wife threw in his face that a random dude grabbed his privates right in front of her? Like they're having an argument. See, you let that man touch your privates. And now it's a thing. And he's a big diesel pushing 450 pounds dude. But he did not hurt or kill or attack this dude. But what if wifey now, who has the power, be like, yo, I saw when that man touched you, but you ain't do nothing to him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I give you layers, man. You gotta have something to talk about. Carry on.
No. Go ahead. Because I was just like, you moving too quick. Slow down for me a little bit. Yeah.
I'm done.
Unbelievable.
I'm done. I load you up so you can go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like for real. What it is, and I saw Janice repeat it in the room. And you gave the wonderful definition, the power under control, right? It's synonymous with servant leadership.
Yeah.
Right. Don't do as I say, do as I do. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times the environments that we come up in, and some of us even act with that same sentiment. You are on that do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Hypocrisy.
Oh, come on. And so if you want to see that happen, then the same behaviors that I want my wife to, and I think we've said it in quotes that we've posted in our groups before. If you want to see your spouse be something, you got to be it first. You know what I'm saying?
That. Yeah. Be the change. Hashtag.
Yeah. So yeah. The second part to what we were talking about before, D, as you were talking about ownership is, okay, the example that you gave, you at somewhere, people at the house, they see something go down, And, you know, later on, you're trying to figure out whose fault it is. It's my fault from the jump.
Yeah.
From the jump, it's my fault. Why? Because the word, I think this is the perfect word to describe marriage. It is sacred and it is divine. In other words, it was created by God, and there is an esteem, a high esteem that he holds with that, right?
Yes.
And so I'm saying, D, that even in that situation that we were talking about before, it's immediately my fault. Why? Because even if you're 70% wrong, we've said this before, and I'm 30% wrong, that's still 30% that I got to deal with before I deal with your 70%. It takes two people. They say it takes two to make a thing go right, right? But in those instances, it takes two people to make a thing go wrong too. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, that what the word declares is that before I consider the splinter in your eye, I must first remove the log in my own eye. So yeah, man. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is taking ownership means it's not passive. Right? It seems obvious, but taking ownership means it's not passive. So we need to be honest.
I just had to do that right there because you just said taking ownership is not passive. My bad.
It's not passive. Yeah, we have to be honest with ourselves, honest with our spouses, bro. And once we can be honest with ourselves, we can be honest with our spouses. And guess what? Then there's no question on the road when you're outside of your house and people are, you know, running their mouth. All right. I know he's pick a negative thing to her when we're not around, or I know she's negative thing when he's not around. But all they can say is, yo, I wish our marriages were as tight as theirs, because that's a standard we want to meet. Not because the people are so great, but because people who relish successful marriage have a heart for each other, heart for their families, heart for individuals in their families, and the larger society. Because every society comprises families, a whole bunch of them.
You opening up a whole new podcast now, because what people fail to realize is that you need to have, once you get married, you automatically, whether you realize it or not, have to implement some kind of social responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Because the marriage is not just about the two of you that are in the marriage. Your marriage can cause negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions on other people if you're not carrying it out right. Like if
for generations.
I'm just saying something as simple as, I remember I had a couple come and pay me a visit one time. And I remember one getting up and, asking the other, well, can you pour me this cup of coffee? And the one spouse was like, no, you could pour your own coffee.
Get it yourself. Oops.
I was like, y'all married? Y'all married. Of course, they're in a different place now, praise God. But I'm just saying that, like, somebody who's looking to get into marriage and they see that, like y'all like a married old couple or old married couple, that has a negative connotation.
And that's a negative. Yeah. Can you imagine?
And then it's the space that they saying it in. So just understand that people are watching the street. Like my man said, Jay-Z said, the streets are watching, right?
Yeah.
And they're watching to see whether this thing works the way that you say it's working. Because if it don't work for you,
right,
then how in heaven's name is it going to work for me?
Real talk. So there's a level of responsibility that we must have outside of our four walls, but it starts inside.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yep. So I think this is a good place to put a pin in it, Quest, because we could, if we can start spinning into another direction and start a whole new program. And then what will we talk about next time, Quest?
Absolutely. And so I just want to tell them then, D, like for real, from shaky to good, from good to great, everybody wants phenomenal, but phenomenal don't just happen. It takes work. So let's do that. Work on taking ownership.
Word up. All right, holla at y'all. Peace. Word up.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Man, we had a lot of help today too, D.
I saw that.
Man, let me tell you something right off the rip. Foundation, aka Nikki D, happy anniversary.
Yeah, 8 years, man. What? 7+1. That's
8
better.
in the game. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Happy
Yes.
anniversary to Nicole Davis and her husband, man.
Junior,
Yep,
Anthony,
yep. Shots
Davis,
out to them.
Junior.
Shots out to them, man.
Yeah.
And shots out to her for helping along with Frenchie and Janice today, man, who
Yes,
was helping
sir.
us take notes today in the group. Yep, it's real important, y'all, that we stay mature as we try to navigate through these tools. So let's give them some shots out, D,
Yeah.
before we bounce, man.
Yeah, I see Janelle Roller, man. That's a new name for me, not
Oh,
probably
wow.
to you. I haven't seen
Oh, Janelle from
Janelle
BU, good
before.
peoples. Yep,
Yeah, man.
yep, good peoples, man. Good
Yeah, man.
peoples. Yep. Shouts out to Frenchie as always. You know what I'm saying? Who else was here with us today?
DK,
Javon
man.
Lovett.
DK in the house, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Javon Lovett came through, you know what I'm saying? One of our BU fam as well. So shouts
Yeah.
out to Javon. Actually, I think he's here in the North Carolina area with me.
Okay. Good stuff. Ms.
Yep.
Brown.
Janice. Huh?
Ms. Brown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Janice came through. Who else was in here, D? Ayana.
Rolando.
Alexander Alejandro. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Rolando Roman.
Oh, good. Oh, the usual suspects, man.
Yeah, man. Derek King.
Yep.
Yo, anybody with the name King is good in my book, man.
In my book. Yeah.
That's what we say, right, Quest? Peace, King.
Peace, King.
Mm-hmm.
Peace, King. Lucy Brown.
Yes.
Yep.
So guys, do it up, Coach Frank.
Oh, Coach Frank. Usual suspect. My people's from back home. Shirley Watson. Yep.
Shirley Watson.
Yep. From the A.
Yeah. Oh, that back home. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not from home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yep. So Dr. King came through.
Hugh Sinclair.
Mm-hmm. Good peoples. My cousin.
Who that? Lauren?
Lauren Green came through today. I'm not only my blood cousin, but my brethren.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, shouts out to everybody else who came.
Stand Up Africa, Stewart. Oh, yeah, and Ollie came through.
Yep, Alexis Galloway came through too, D.
Yeah, man, we almost down that list, man. Tony Hicks. I haven't seen Tony and hubby in a long time, man. Yep. Hello, Tony.
Yep. Well, yeah, D, let's go ahead and get prepared for this post.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, everybody, y'all have a wonderful week. We see y'all on Monday for 5-minute sucker-free marriage moments.
Yeah, man.
Yep, I'll see y'all on Monday. Yo, D.
Yeah.
What happened to peace?
Peace.